Hey everyone, it's MyTyme here with Ring Domination Live in WWE Supercard. I'm going to bring you an episode before I head off to bed about my thoughts on the event card, which is Kalisto, who will be popping up on screen anytime soon. Here you go, here he comes. And I'm also going to give my thoughts on seasons, well, my experience in seasons anyway recently. I'll do that first. Seasons. I'm currently in a season, it isn't going too bad, but my last 4 or 5 seasons, I think it's 5 seasons, I haven't made a final. I've gone out in a quarter of the semi-finals in 4 of them. I haven't even made it through the qualifying in 1 of them. It's just been too hard trying to put out my best team when I was missing, should we say, some good cards. Now I have a slightly better chance that I have these compatible tags and using event cards and survivor cards. I can even put the event, it's not compatible, but it's not incompatible either, tag together if I need to. I have a few options, and it's going okay so far. If I go to standings, you'll see here there are still quite a few people. Superman is a person, so is Johnzilla. All the graphs here, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of him, have seen him on YouTube and that. Shelly is a person, Kozyum is as well, Zizou, as well as Rocky Smash. So, again, it's not going to be easy because we've all got pretty similar cards, just 1 or 2 things that are different. Divas are still lacking for me, but playing Survivor King of the Rings and just getting legendary cards is no good. If I have to drop down to the low levels of Survivor using 2 or 3 Survivor Pros and the rest legendary cards, but it gets me to the finals each time, then that's what I'm going to have to do. Just let me know if you find the same problems in your tier, because I can't really remember back into Epic tier in that, to be honest with you. Is it the same? Is it easier to win them when you're in the bottom of the tier than when you're at the top of the tier using your best cards? If so, then yeah, it looks like they want you to basically shelve all your top cards. Anyway, let's come to Ring Domination. I've got a few pieces so far. Left arrow, looks the T there. It looks like Kofi Kingston. I can honestly tell you, I haven't checked. It looks like it's going to say Trouble in Paradise. I don't know. Haven't been anywhere to see. That's just a complete and utter guess from the time being. Now, if we look at these cards, this is what I'm running with. You can see I've got 2 weaker cards here in the form of Mr. Cena and Devon Dudley. So I've got my 8 cards, which I call my main playing cards. John Cena, which is comfortably beaten by every card, and Devon Dudley, which is comfortably beaten by every card except John Cena. And that's important because if I do pull them both, Devon can still take the Cena card without much trouble, but he can also be beaten by all the other cards. So let's play a couple of games, and we'll go over the fact that Kalisto is the event card, my thoughts on it, my theory behind why it is him, and why it makes sense, okay? Yes, you heard that right. Why it makes sense to have Kalisto as the event card. Now, first of all, I'm going to point out a couple of things here. There is no card possible to go in the bottom right corner, to take any card in the bottom right corner, which is an event card. The event cards are all up or left arrows, okay? So if you put a card in the bottom right corner, the only cards that can take it are normal survivor cards. So as an example, if I were to put in, say, I had to put in a card which is pretty strong. Should I put in, which one of these two should I put in? You're more rounded. But I need, yeah, fine. If I were to put in Jack Swagger here, the computer can't take him, literally can't take him, because he probably doesn't have a down arrow or a right arrow strong enough. I mean, look, see, my Bret Hart struggle needs a proc, my Rusev needs procs, and even then he's just screwed. He's just screwed. Bret Hart can obviously beat him in the charisma side if he procs. So now I don't need to go at attacking. So what I can do is I can put in, I should use my toughness boost earlier, for example. I can put in my Bret Hart. Need to get lucky, get some humping going. We got a bit lucky there. Okay, I can admit that. Now what I do is I try and trick the, oh no, I don't trick the computer. I trick the computer. Oh. He was supposed to try and take my Devon card, to be honest with you. Oh well. If he had have taken my Devon card, I then had my Jericho to take it either way. Let's just put Jericho in for the sake of it. And yeah, it don't matter if you take him because I've got an up arrow, which means I don't have to fight and I win. Okay, so that's a strategy a lot of people use if you're in Survivor. take that bottom corner, use one of your best cards that pretty much means your computer can't take it, guarantee yourself that first slot, and then play from there. Now I tend to play from the other side of the board. I tend to play with the strengths of my cards that I pick. So if I've picked all left and up arrows, I'll put it in the top left hand corner and try and work my way to winning from there. It's not as easy, I will admit, in Survivor, because quite a lot of us have a lot of similar cards, so I did find it a lot easier. I did find this tactic worked really well in, I mean, look how many games Roger's played. I'm still going to play him anyway, but I found the tactic worked really well in Epic and Legendary. I'd literally win every single... if I lost 3 ring domination games in the whole event, I'd be not upset, but that would be as much as I'd want to lose. I pretty much didn't lose more. Now here, 2 ups, 2 downs. My ups better than my downs, and we've got a left arrow there with Undertaker, so I'll put him in the top left. He'll get taken by an event card, most likely. Okay, and I will take him back with an event card. Now while this is a risk, obviously you could take him back with an event card, because there is still plenty of other Rocks and Roman Reigns which could attack him. He's quite well rounded because I made him like that, and in this kind of event he's not too bad as a defense card, so I've guaranteed myself this top left. As you can see, let's get a power toughness of, yep, perfect for me. Yeah, sorry, I read that one. Yeah, okay, perfect for me. So now I'm in a good position here. So now what I can do is I don't need to attack. So he hasn't put any up cards. So I'm going to get him to potentially try and attack my Rusev with a good up card if he's got it. Okay, he's going to go for Jericho card instead. Bit unfortunate there. You know, I wasn't really thinking there. That is stupid of me, isn't it? I should have put Rusev here to block off a Rock card. So if he did go up, it didn't matter, because I'd still have these 3. Okay, anyway. So he's had 2 left cards, 2 event cards, so I'm going to go with the theory that he doesn't have many left, and I need to get lucky here. I didn't see what it was. That was kind of lucky, and then it doesn't matter for the end. So yep, still won, but obviously as you can see with this strategy you do need a bit of luck. I've actually found in Survivor, well, especially in Survivor Plus, a lot more of the games come down to luck than before. My strategies before were working amazingly. Now they struggle a little bit. But with that said, let's get on to the last part of the video and talk about Kalisto and why it makes sense. Okay, so why Kalisto? Well, a lot of people are talking about it potentially being Triple H after the Royal Rumble and his win, and potentially being AJ Styles after his debut. But if you look in the past, we've had a Ryback once he won the championship as an event card. You know, we've had Alberto Del Rio once he debuted, so you can understand why AJ Styles, and he got a championship soon after. You can understand that when Roman Reigns has been in the mix, we've had him as an event card already. You know, Jericho returns, he's been an event card, so you can understand why people would think AJ Styles was going to be the next event card. And similarly, I also understand why people would think it would be Triple H, because he's just won the title at a pay-per-view. But why does Triple H not sound like such a good idea as he does at first glance? Well, the problem with Triple H, I think personally, is twofold. I think one, it's his stats. Now, yes, he's an up arrow, which is important because it means he's not compatible with any of the current event cards, okay? So they're all left and up arrows. So Kalisto's a left arrow as well. So both of these people aren't compatible. So they're not giving you a compatible event tag yet, okay? I think that was always key. AJ Styles could be a right arrow, we don't know, so maybe that's why it wasn't him. But the game, for whatever their reasons are, do not want to give you a Oh, wait up, I've got to think what I'm doing here. I'm going to have to do a right at some stage, aren't I? So I'll go for the win now. What was I saying? Yeah, so Triple H, up arrow, and he will proc in power and charisma. Now the problem with that, oh fudging hell, I didn't want to have to fight someone. Not that it doesn't matter because I've won anyway, but I just long to wait for the game. Yeah, so Triple H is going to be power and charisma. Now there's already an abundance of power cards. I mean, we've got The Rock, you've got Undertaker, you've got Roman Reigns, you've got Jack Swagger, all of those proc in power already. And in terms of charisma, we've just had The Rock in charisma, and also, guess what, Jericho with speed and charisma. So to put Triple H in, it would literally be putting in another card, which is pretty much a same card as the ones they've already got. On top of that, and maybe probably more significantly, is that Triple H would have to be a very good event card, okay? He would have to be kind of almost near top tier event card. You couldn't have a card like Jack Swagger outstatting Triple H, because it would just make no sense. People would look at it and be like, what? And it'd have to at least be on kind of par with someone like Jericho or whatever. Yeah, he wouldn't be as good probably as The Rock, and wouldn't be as good as The Undertaker, but the idea is he should be close. And I think at the moment they are kind of not so much finding their feet, but I don't think they want to, should we say, oh wait, I want to do here, I've got to pray, yeah, I don't think they want to overdo it, you know, sticking out all those power cards, all those charisma cards and stuff. You know, it's all a bit same old top tier card coming out, another strong event card. Triple H, yeah, let's put him out in ring domination. Oh, wait up, a lot of people can't get ring domination because they're not into Survivor tier. Oh well. And I think that will cause a lot of complaints from the community for those people in Legendary, etc., who can grind for a Road to the Glory card. They can grind in the PCC, but in ring domination they just have no chance of getting the card. So that's my personal... Oh, I've got to think about what I'm doing here, haven't I? Yeah. Okay, sorry. That's my personal opinion as to the main factor which has contributed to them deciding, hey, we'll put in Kalisto, because he's not going to be a top tier event card. I just can't see him being it. So as a result, it's not going to annoy as many people who aren't in the top tier of ring domination. And simple, they're not going to lose out on as much money. And if they had a card like Triple H, they'd imagine a lot of people would pay for PCC, you know, all that kind of stuff. So they think, hey ho, let's put in Kalisto instead. And why else does it make sense? Well, it makes sense because of his stats. He's going to proc in toughness and speed. Now, the only other speed card we got is Jericho, who has just come out, so it makes sense to put another speed card in for balancing in. I said he's a left arrow before, so it's not going to give you a compatible tag, so you're not going to get that advantage yet in the game. They're still holding off from that. And toughness. Now, yes, we do have an Undertaker, yes, we do have Jack Swagger, and yes, we do have Roman Reigns in toughness. But those cards were the first cards into you. Since then, you've obviously had The Rock and you've had Jericho. So he's got to be 2 stats anyway. And they've probably, the developers thought, you know what Kalisto does? Toughness and speed. It gives a rest on the charisma for the minute. We don't need any more power cards. It's a left card, and we don't have to make it a great card. You know, people who can do ring domination Survivor will get him anyway because they can do it and they can do the event. The rest of the community who can't get him aren't going to worry too much about not having him. Simple. There you go. Covers all the bills. It also makes me think that potentially there is a Diva one coming. So obviously not for this, but for the next PCC, there's either one or two things happening for the next PCC that I can see. It's either going to be a Diva PCC, individual one, I mean, because we've just had the individual. So we've just had the team PCC where Charlotte was the reward, and that leads me to think that it's going to be a Diva individual PCC, which is why they've given you a team PCC beforehand. So some people got to survive a Diva. You know, they can start moving up. Maybe makes a pro. Then they'll bring out a single player PCC where you got another Survivor Diva up there. Maybe even another Diva in the lower rewards, probably legendary, something like that. And they're going to really let people cane it on the credits, etc. again to get those bouts. If not that, then I think it's going to be a down arrow or a right arrow for exactly the same reason. So people with the event cards will cane out the PCC for that compatible tag, because the tier's been out for a while now, and there's a few event cards out. They're gearing up for it. There's no point putting a right arrow or down arrow in Ring Domination because not every person can get it. You have to put it in modes where every player in the game can potentially get it, even if it is a fantasy, because there's only 2,150 out there, and realistically there are a lot of people who will try to get the card who won't be able to get the card. They will put the time in, put the effort in, they will potentially buy credits, all these kind of things to try and get that reward, and it's gonna make Cat Daddy a lot more money. So that's my thoughts behind the card. I thought behind Ring Domination. Obviously, I've shown you the way that I'm kind of playing it. So if you've got any questions, please feel free to post them in the comments, see if I can help you out. Let me know if you think I'm wrong about Kalisto, or if you think I'm wrong about the next single PCC being a Diva after we've had this team PCC one as a Diva, or if you think I'm wrong about it definitely being a down or a right arrow. As I said, I can only see either of those two happening from a financial perspective for the company. There doesn't seem much benefit for them to pull out another up arrow or another left arrow. But up in MyTyme for now. We'll find out that in the near future. Thank you very much for watching. Good luck in your Ring Domination grind, and I'll see you all soon.